guys, it's Kelly here and I am back with another video. Long time no talk, I know. So today's video is showcasing some new products by Altenew. This is the crystal frame stamp set, which is really the one we're concentrating on today. This is the Mega Greeting stamp set and I totally love these. And then they also have the Mega Blessed Die and Hello die, the pen sketched flowers, which I'm totally in love with and I cannot wait to color. And the crystal frames also has dies. I'm not going to be doing that today. So I had a whole game plan when I first saw the product, and then that kind of went by the wayside. And then here we are, we're going to do some watercoloring. Sometimes it's okay to discard the first idea that you have if for some reason that isn't working out. Moving on to that, I'm also trying some new to me Altenew inks. These are all pigment inks. So this is Obsidian. And I don't typically reach for pigment inks because they take a long time to dry and I am impatient, but this one actually dried super fast and the coverage on it is ridiculous. Like, it was amazing. So I stamped it, moved my Misty off to the side, and then immediately got out my Altenew watercolor markers and went right to work, and I didn't have any bleeding. I didn't have any issues. It was like no smudging, no nothing. I was super impressed. So here I'm working, I'll be switching back and forth between a number 2 and a number 8 round brush for my watercoloring. And they are called crystal frame dies. And so I wanted to watercolor them like crystals. This is pretty much what my game plan was. I love geometric patterns. I love geometric themed cards. Especially with florals, really love that. I probably should have thrown some florals in here. I didn't, but that's cool because I own them now and there'll be another opportunity for me to do that at a later date. So basically my game plan when watercoloring these is putting down the color where I want it to be the darkest, 1 or 2 colors, because I love some color variation. That's my favorite part of watercolors, is the way that the colors mix together. And then putting down some clean water where I want it to be the lightest, bringing that water to the pigment so that it kind of spreads out. If you start where you put the color, then you're going to get pretty much a clean wash of one solid color, which is not what I wanted. Here's something else new we're trying. So this is actually the bronze color of Perfect Pearls. I bet you didn't even know that I owned any other colors, but I do, because I just love me some Perfect Pearls. But anyway, so here, instead of picking it up on a brush and spattering it down wet, I'm actually picking it up with the end of my brush and letting it fall down dry. This is while my watercolor is still wet. Let me be clear about that. Your watercolor needs to still at least be damp because that's how Perfect Pearls bind. They set with water, and then once it's dry, like, that powder won't rub off on anything, which is super cool. But then from here, I'm just going to fill in the edges of the frame with various shades of the colors that I used. For this one, it was the... Let's see, now I'm not going to remember the names. I know the one is like Rubinite, that's like the pinkish color, and the other one is Midnight Violet. So I just really like the way they look, and I really like the way they look with a little bit of shimmer in them. So I have 3 cards to show you. I know you're probably thinking, 3 cards? This is only a little short 15-minute video, Kelly. I know, but it went by really fast, honestly. They were super easy to make, and it was fun to just sit down and kind of paint them. For some of the sections, I colored them in solid. For some of them, I put a little bit of color in one corner. For some of them, I blended the 2 colors together again, just so that there's that variation, because when you look at a gemstone, a crystal, a geode, whatever you have, like, they all look different. All the edges look different because of how they're cut and the way that the light hits them. And so I wanted to kind of play up that differentiation between the angles of light. And I did that for all of them. Now, I won't necessarily always show you that because I get that it gets to be a lot watching the same thing over and over again. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys could see the process a couple of different ways, and also, you know, share some color combinations. One of the cards is a rainbow, because you know I love me some rainbows, and so I had to try my hand at that. And then there I did do a 4th card, which you will see in the end, because I wanted to show you how I did the sentiment, but I did not love that card, and it did not fit with the rest of them. And I have a real problem with that. That's just my own my own neuroses or my own just, I can't do it. Like if they aren't matchy, I can't make them make friends. I need them to make friends. So I will show you that one, even though it is not my favorite. This is the rainbow card, and for this I did do just a little bit of masking because I thought that it would be kind of fun to stack one on top of the other and then have them be, a rainbow, so there was lots of color variation. Since I only need to mask the bottom portion of my first crystal, that's all I stamped on the masking paper. I'm not looking to do a whole bunch of unnecessary cutting. So here you can see I have my mask in my finger. I'm stamping all of these Knit Obsidian ink, by the way. And then put down my mask. I'm going to stamp my larger crystal. I like the way the rainbow came out on this one. I don't necessarily love the layout that I created. So, you can't love them all, and that's okay, and it's all good practice for coloring and seeing how it goes. Because this one I did have a little bit of a boo-boo with. But you know me, you know how I do. I feel like everything can be fixed, and so I certainly wasn't going to give up at that stage in the game. So here I just top to bottom did some red, yellow, greens, blues, and then the purple at the bottom. Though I gotta be honest with you, that purple pretty much disappeared as the colors moved. So I started in between the yellow and the red, just where that white area was, because I didn't want to bring the red too much into the yellow. And then from there cleaned off my brush, then the yellow into the green. And then so I'm just cleaning my brush off in between so I'm not carrying that pigment to the next color combination. Here I wanted to add some more yellow, and so I squeezed it and like a bunch of it came out. What was this? This was Warm Sunshine. So thankfully it was the middle color, because if it would have been like a lot of green or a lot of red, I probably would have been in real trouble. But it was the middle color of yellow, and so it kind of washed out the other colors. But the nice thing about these watercolors, like brushes, is that I find I can go in there even when it's wet, and go direct to paper and still get some pigment down. With my zigs, I know that I can't. Like I have to scribble them off on the side and then pick them up and drop them back in. Here I'm trying to just, conserve as much of that purple as I can. In the end of it, you're going to see it's like completely disappeared. Also, side note, the mat that I'm working on is it's a stamping mat from Altenew. It's a silicone mat. And I just laid on my desk, totally stuck down super well. And it's got measurements on it. It's a grid, so for your stamping to line things up, which is kind of awesome. And it's really easy to take with you, because you just like peel it up, roll it up. And so, yeah, that was easy. So here I'm putting back in the red. I did put down more than like maybe I normally would, but it was to counteract some of that yellow. So I was fine with the amount that went down there. I'm going to kind of move these colors around a little bit, try to get some mixing. I am being careful not to mix my red and my green though, because it will make brown, and that's not super pretty. So once that's done, then I'll go in and do the same thing to the edges, various colors, all of that. So yeah, is there anything else? Originally, I was going to do like flowers and die cutting and all of this stuff, but then I was like having so much fun watercoloring them that I just completely forgot that was my game plan. I'm back to this bronze Perfect Pearls. I also used Perfect Pearls in Perfect Pearls on the card that I don't like. But if you do want to see that one, like you want to see it closer up because for some reason that's your jam, which is totally cool, it will be over on the blog. There'll be a close-up picture over on the blog for that one. I decided to put a little bit of ground underneath these. It felt very weird with one crystal sitting on top of another and there not being any dimension there. So I decided to use the jet black to add a little bit of shading so that it kind of made more sense. I'm not sure if it actually makes more sense now, I'm going to be honest. But at least it didn't, to me, it looked so weird to have it flat. And then the third one I'm going to do, I wanted a darker teal color to go with my bright gold. And they do have Lagoon in here, and an Emerald's really more green. But the Lagoon color I really love. It's just not necessarily super dark. So I decided to mix the Emerald with the, I think it's Desert Blue. It's like a dark navy to give me the darker teal color that I really wanted. So any watercolors that you have, whether you have these or other ones, like, don't discount mixing the colors to get what you want. So where have I been? Where have I been for the last like week? I have been just busy. So I have taught at the college twice a week in addition to working my regular 40-hour work week, and I've started working out again. And so they trick you. They do. So it's Hip Hop Abs. It's by Beachbody, and it's supposed to be like 30-minute workouts, which is true. That is true, and that's how they hooked me, because I was like, I can fit in 30 minutes a day. It also means that I've completely given up on doing my hair ever. I pretty much just, I get out and I'm sweaty. Oh, here, wait, I gotta clean this up. So this is something, these do clean up really, really nicely. So I just go in there with clean water, put it over the area that I don't want, and then pick it up with a clean paper towel, and they totally cleaned up super nice, no staining whatsoever. So anyway, they sell it to you that it's only 30 minutes a day. And I'm like, okay, I can do 30 minutes. I'm totally gross and sweaty afterward. As Eric would say, I'm sweating like a poked pig, which I had never heard before in my life. Let me know if you have. But anyway, so I get into the shower, wash what I need to wash, but I don't have time to do the blow drying, the curling, the all of that. My hair is naturally curly. This is the way God made it, and I'm just embracing it because vacation is coming soon. And I don't really love the way I look in my bathing suit at the moment. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who say, like, oh, I would love to be your size, or you're not big at all, you don't need to lose any weight. And I totally get that. But I am getting to be the higher end of what is healthy for my height. And it is about, making good decisions and being healthy. Here, I decided I was going to try to sprinkle it on with my wet paintbrush, and it just stuck to my wet paintbrush. Yeah, because that's what things do. They stick to wet things. So anyway, I am going to end up mixing this one with water to make it work. So, yeah, I get that I'm not, like morbidly obese or any of those things. And that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's about, for me, it's not about what other people think. It's about how I feel about myself, and trying to make good decisions. And so I'm doing the 21-day fix diet, which I have done before, which a lot of people don't even treat it like a diet. They just treat it like a lifestyle. And I probably will do some modified form of that after I get to a place that I'm happy. This black spattering thing I'm doing here, I loved so much. I was like, let me put this on this other card. I'm a fan of this. So yeah, doing that and then working out. So I'm doing a lot more meal prepping and the 30-minute workout. Well, now here I am. I'm on week 2, right? And they're making you double down on workouts. So they sell it to you as if you're doing a 30-minute workout, but then they give you another 30-minute workout. So you're working out for an hour, and then I nearly died. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm so far out of shape I'm a shape, but not in shape. And I was, oh my gosh, it was just too much. It was too much. But yeah, so I'm a little bit miffed because now I'm signed up to do an hour of working out because I want to do the program correctly. But yeah, just it's a lot. It's a lot. So that is where I have been and why I've been missing in action. Back to the card super quick. So 2 of the other inks that I have never used before, they're both pigment inks. One of them is Antique Gold and one of them is Enchanted Gold. Antique Gold is more of like a neutral gold. That's the one I've used here. And then the Enchanted Gold is more of a yellow gold, which is what I tend to lean toward. But actually, really, this time I kind of like the Antique Gold. And again, these cover amazing because they're pigment inks. So just stamping these out. So what led me to this realization that I needed to get into shape? The photo. If you have ever in your life, whether you have struggled with your weight your whole life, whether you've never struggled with it, I never struggled with my weight until I had my son. There is always the photo. you know what I'm talking about. You probably, if you ever have been in this position, you just pictured that photo in your head. And people talk about like how you should have a like goal photo, a photo that you have of yourself that you really love, and that should be your goal photo. The photo that is the catalyst is the photo that I'm talking about. And so for me, weekend before last, we were up at the lake, and Eric, this is the card I don't like, PPS, but I did show it to you because I stamped this mega hello over it, and the coverage on this gold pigment ink is absurd. I mean, it's so good, guys. It's so good. But anyway, so Eric took a picture of me with Molly, and he took it from behind me, so I didn't even know he took the photo. And then I saw the photo after the fact, and I was like, what? Is that what I look like? Like, is that really what I look like? And so that was my catalyst. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've ever been in that spot. And so I'm just trying to make better decisions. Here, I didn't really love the way the hello was kind of blending into the background, so I used my EK Success journaling pen to give it a drop shadow, and it does help it out, like, stand out much more. So for those of you who have checked in with me, I appreciate the concern. I am fine. I am good. But that is where I have been. I do have some other videos that are done and completed, but they're in the queue waiting for voiceovers. So thank you guys so much for joining me. This is part of a blog hop with giveaways. If you made it this far, congratulations. And you can find that information over at the blog. It'll be linked below. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.